Right, this week I'm hoping I'm going to get around to finally painting this front bumper. I've got the wheels off ready and got it jacked up. This side I've removed the wheel line already and unbolted it from there. I've removed the clips that I'd fitted previously. So on this side I've unscrewed the wheel latch liner. I've ignored this because I don't know what's going on there. So if I pull this out, if I can pull this out. Right, I may need 2 hands for this. Alright, there it goes. It must have been held in just with the sheer force of the dirt because there's nothing else down there. It's like a little compost heap. Right, get that sorted before I put it all back. So what should be left is, if I can get an angle on it, it just bolts up there. So I'll get those out and it should all lift off. So that's that side off. And that side. So presumably it's just these clips holding it on now. Yep. There she goes. There's something left. Alright, okay. Fog light wiring. Yeah, I didn't actually know if this car had fog light wiring or not. I know it had the fog lights fitted, but it had the basic switch with only the rear fog lights on it. So I didn't know if these cars had different looms or not. So that's good to know. So all I have to do is change that switch. And there she is, completely detached. So just trying to get a game plan in my head now. I'm not going to strip it down completely. I'm just going to mask off the fog lights and the grille. They need to be painted anyway, so I'm not too concerned about overspray or anything. The number plate will be coming off because I need to paint behind it. And I'll probably put a new plate on, to be honest. It's looking a bit tired. And don't think those screws are OEM. So yeah, first things first, after the number plate obviously, but I need to repair this and this bit. So to do that I've bought some 2-part epoxy. And I'm going to try and use some of this behind, I think, to reinforce it. Maybe not so much on there, but on this bit it'll need some heat because it's not just cracked, it's actually deformed. So heat that up, make it a bit more malleable. And get some mesh and epoxy on the back to secure it. And after that, hopefully I'll turn red. So I'm ready to fix this bumper now. I was going to use a bit of heat to massage this back into place, but it sprung back fairly well, so I think that's good enough for now. Once I glue it and it dries, I'll just a bit of filler and paint on top and it'll look good enough. So, and this needs to be glued back into place. So what I'm going to do is flip it over now. I got some 80 grit sandpaper just to rough up the insides to provide the key. And then I'm going to use some 2-part epoxy. I'm going to use some of this mesh to add rigidity and so I can give the glue something to hold on to. And then I'll probably just give it another bit more epoxy on top. I'm hoping with this mesh it'll help hold this clip together while it's gluing. If not, I'll just put some more grips on it. So yeah, I've seen people use different stuff. I've seen people use plasterer's tape. I've seen bandages, all sorts. I'm just using this aluminium mesh because that's what was by the rattle can section in Halfords, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to get this flipped over now and get gluing. So this is where I'm at. I've scuffed everything up ready for the adhesive, the epoxy, and they've cut and formed these mesh panels ready to go. And it fits around there. And I do need to clamp these while they're gluing. So I'm just trying to think how to do this without getting the clamp stuck to the epoxy. So I'm just going to use a bit of cardboard, go either side, and the cardboard's going to stick to the plastic, but it'll be easier to remove afterwards. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy now and get this all stuck together. So that's all glued and clamped, so I'm going to leave that dry now. I think on the back of the packet it sits into like 14 hours to fully set. So yeah, that gives me the time to enjoy this lovely workmanship that's been lavished on this car in the past. I wonder what's missing off the bottom of my bumper. So yeah, I'm going to leave off for today, come back tomorrow and hopefully start painting. Right, I've left the bumper overnight, so should be done now. So I'm going to remove the clamps and the bits of cardboard and see how well it's stuck. Yeah, happy with that. So next up we get some filler on this and get it scuffed up ready for paint. So I filled and sanded that main crack, and after I did that bit I found another one around there, so I give that a little repair. I've scuffed the entire bumper, managed to get rid of all these sticky pads that were left over from the number plate. I've cleaned it once, but I'm going to have to clean it at least once more. I've scoured the whole thing to give it a key for the paint to stick to. So yeah, another clean and ready for a bit of primer. So that's the first coat of primer going on. I'm not worried about coverage at this point. This is just a quick dusting. This will give something for the other layers to stick to. Yeah, started. So that's the third coat of primer gone on now, and we've got good coverage as far as I can see. Just the one run, I blasted a bit too much around the toe and eye hole. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's what was in the paint below. Otherwise, yeah, it's looking pretty good. There's a bit of filler over here I'm going to have to redo tomorrow, because I'm going to leave it there for today. Make sure all the extra epoxy I put on the back is dried properly. A bit more filler, possibly 2 more coats of primer. I can't quite remember what I finished off in the last clip. I think I just finished off the primer, but this is where it stands at the moment. I had 4 coats of primer, I think, altogether, and this is, I think, the second coat of top coat. It's not looking too bad. Just picking up a few ones that were in the blue, but I didn't flatten this back because a bit of a rush. I just want a red. And it's picking up a few infections that probably could have got rid of if I used a bit of filler primer. But again, not looking for good, just good enough. So I am going to give this a bit of a flat back now, so I'm wet and dry, and then I'll probably get 2 more coats of top coat. So this is how it stands at the moment. I think I'm finished with the top coat. It's been a bit of a nightmare. I've made every mistake in the book. I've just had to polish some of it back. That's what this residue is. I think I might need a little bit more polishing, but I think I'm just about ready for a bit of lacquer. Yeah, it's looking okay. It doesn't bear up to like really close scrutiny, but I'm happy. It's, you know, it's good enough. It's a £400 car, so I'm not going to go crazy, and you know, I'm not a painter, so I could spend hours and hours, but you know, is it worth it? It's gonna look fine. So yeah, a bit more polishing now, and time for some lacquer. And there she is, all finished. I rounded off. She had 2 coats of lacquer, and then left that to harden overnight. And I just smoothed it back today with some, I think I used 1500 grit, and then just polished the rest of it back. It's got a decent shine to it. Pretty happy. So seems almost a shame to put this thing back on it, but that will get repainted, just not today. So I'm going to refit this now. And I've got new fittings. This is what I was missing. These go. I think that's one of them. And replace the others. There's 2 mods go in there, and the same on the other side. And that should hold it nice and flush to the wings. So there she is back in the car. All done. Not great, but it's good enough. Colour match isn't brilliant. This seems a bit more orangey than this red to me, but you know, it's closer than the blue was. And still not fitting great, but the screws that come with these fittings, they're the bits that plug into the wings, but the screws that come with them are a little bit weedy, so they haven't got a lot of purchase. So I'll do those at some point. It's fine for now, it's not going to fall off. So the other side's a little bit more so again. Found something a bit nicely there, but I could not get a purchase on that one for some reason. So at some point I'll get some screws that are a bit thicker, maybe a coarser thread. I can see on this side now it's on the car. There are some dark patches, so I obviously haven't used enough top coat in those parts. But you know, better than the blue. So yeah, I'm happy enough for now. And I will be doing the black bits at some point. I should point out when I do these videos, these aren't how-tos. This is me just having a go. So yeah, I think the next part will be, if I take off the skirts, the mirror caps and the spoiler, I can do those while the car's still on the road, and do the back bumper last. So as the other YouTubers do, there you go, click your fingers and it's all done. Balls.